Hello everyone. In today's video, I want to talk to you about Sankey diagrams and chord diagrams. So what are these things? These are some ways of plotting data, specifically for plotting the movement of data from one source to one destination, or multiple sources to multiple destinations. So we're looking at how does data move over time, and there's great applications for these types of plots. These are a little bit unusual. It's nothing like a scatter plot or histogram or bar chart or pie chart, time series chart. Completely different from that, but in some cases, if we need to look at how data moves from one place to another place, a Sankey plot or a chord plot can be very useful. Okay, so let's get into it. In this data set, we're looking at just 3 features, so pretty small data set, not super rich, but pretty meaningful nevertheless. We have a measure column, we have a country column, and a value. And we see arrivals. Country is obviously the name of the country, and the value is the number of people moving. So if we look at the Sankey plot, we can easily see we have arrivals and departures. We have 2 different buckets for how people are moving or where they're going and where they're coming from, and then the country that they're going to. So in this plot, we can see, we can zoom in. I love these Jupyter notebooks. You can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can put the mouse over the chart, and you can see all the details, which is very useful for some of these smaller data flow streams. Down here we see departure, America's, and the value is 245915, so 249,915 people moved. And if we go down here for arrivals, again we see the arrival bucket, the country where people are going to, and the value, so that's the number of people. So pretty interesting way of visualizing the data in a form that's meaningful, that's helpful, that's intuitive for your audience to understand what's going on. Again, we see departures and arrivals, slightly different color plotting over here, but essentially the same thing. Mouse over, you get all the details behind this, and you can see where the people are headed to and where they're coming from, right? So arrivals and departures, and then the ultimate country destination. Let's look at a chord diagram. It's very similar in terms of showing the flow of data, but it's more radial, circular. You'll have nodes, you'll have relationships between the data, just in a circular fashion, right? So we can see, again, here we can see that data is moving from one place to another to another. This is somewhat of a primitive chart. It's not quite as mature as it needs to be, so let's add some more details and characteristics to get more information from this and make this more useful. Again, we have arrivals, departures, and then values. Okay, and let's look at this chord diagram right here, and now we can see the countries and then where people are moving from and to. So we see between France and Japan, there's some movement, and France to Ireland, there's some movement. Spain is going to, looks like Iceland, and America too. So pretty intuitive, pretty quick, easy way to visualize data. Let me take this in a slightly different direction. Again, we're looking at the movement of data from source to destination, but now we're looking at financial data. So this is actually just made up. I could go get real Apple data, but I just kind of made this up just to illustrate the point here and showcase the usefulness of Sankey plots and chord plots. But obviously this is not real data here. This is just fictitious, made up, fabricated data. But again, we can see revenue is coming from products and services. Here's the products over here: the iPhone, MacBook, iPad, watch, and then AirPods. And here's revenue from the service part of Apple. And then the breakdown where it's going to, revenue is going over here to the cost of the revenue. It's broken out as service costs, and then cost of doing business, and then operating profit, keeping the lights on, running factories, things like that, and then net profit. And then of course down here is the tax part of the revenue. You have to pay the tax man too at the end of the day, right? But it's interesting to see how the money is made on the left, and then where it ultimately ends up on the right. Net profit, we have right here, looks like 2K, 2000. That's okay, again, just fabricated data. It's not real Apple data. But if this was, you could simply get the data from Yahoo Finance, or even from Apple's 10K when they file their quarterly report or annual report, and you could get all the sources and then the targets and then the value of those actual values, and plot that in a Sankey plot Let's look exactly the same data in a chord plot. Go down here, we can see the same thing. Gross profit is broken out to net profit, operating profit, and part of it goes to tax. I'm looking at the orange part of the diagram here. So gross profit goes to net, operating, and tax. And if we go over here, we'll see exactly the same thing. Operating, profit, net profit, and tax. So pretty cool way of visualizing data flows from one source to one destination, or multiple sources to multiple destinations. So that's it. Wrapping up now. Hopefully I was able to drop some interesting knowledge, something useful, meaningful, impactful. And that's it. Okay. Thanks for your time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.